Hello and welcome back to another episode of Football. I'm your host, as always, Gerardo. I got Tomas, my boy, here with me, and today's a special day. It's my birthday, so we got a special episode for you guys. Got my coffee here. It's still early, bright and early. Tomas, how you doing, bro? Thank you for hopping on the pod. We got a lot to talk about: Premier League, La Liga, Liga MX. But first, how are you doing, bro?
Good, bro. First of all, happy birthday, bro. The big 24. I mean, hey,
Hey, bro. Now
one,
everybody
two,
has to
four.
know, bro. Relax.
Nah, he looks younger. He looks younger though.
Yeah. I think I get like I'm 21, 22 still. So
Yeah, you act like it. Nah, but nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, I mean, here, bro, just ready to get into it.
get a little birthday party. This is actually my birthday present from you, so I appreciate you for
Yeah,
hopping
bro.
on. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about, bro. Premier League, La Liga, and Liga MX. So let's go right into Premier League because how can we not after the shocking result that we witnessed? And I'm gonna put my hands up because I was claiming Liverpool to be title contenders, and I mean I still think they can fight for the Premier League, but after this result, it's gonna be a very hard knock on their confidence. Losing to Nottingham at Anfield, it's been 55 years since Nottingham Forest has ever beat Liverpool in Anfield. So I mean, this doesn't happen, bro. And honestly, I'm quite surprised with Nottingham. They haven't lost so far in the Premier League, bro. They haven't lost a single game. They've tied like two or three. They won like two. I think Santi definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna say he messed up, but I would have liked maybe Santi would have added something different to this team.
There was potential there. There's potential in Nottingham. It's 2 wins, 2 ties. But
Mhm.
I still don't think it's the team that's Santi.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, for sure.
But
If
I
Bayer
see the
Leverkusen come calling, if Bayer Leverkusen come calling, I say go to there. But I mean, he could have been a part of this. He could have been at Anfield. Maybe he would have scored instead of Callum Hudson. You
seal
know,
the 2-0.
sealed 2-0. You never know. Anything could happen. But yeah, I mean, overall, a quiet game from Liverpool. Nottingham, Callum Hudson-Odoi, the ex-Blue Devil from Chelsea, he got on the score sheet. A beautiful curler right outside the box, and they held on. And they surprised everybody in the Premier League. And they're knocking on the big boys upstairs. I think they're like what in sixth place, seventh place right now.
Seventh place. Seventh
Yeah.
place.
So I mean,
But they're
what
only
Nuno
4 points away from first.
Yeah, what Nuno Espirito Santo is doing so far is good work. It's honest work, and he's doing a wonderful job. So we'll see how long they can hold on. We already know the Premier League is based on consistency. Like yeah, you can pull off some shocking results, but and then if you go next week playing against like fucking Brentford or Ipswich, and then they can very well lose to them because it's just that's what happens in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Anybody can beat anybody at this point.
Yeah, I want
So
to touch on Nuno Espirito Santo a bit
yeah,
because he
yeah.
was the coach at Wolves in that era, with Raúl Jiménez, Adama Traoré, and
Yeah. Don't
bro, he
forget
was
Diogo Jota, bro. That those three were
Diego
fucking
Jota.
lethal.
That team was so good at taking down. It was a pest for big teams for Liverpool.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
beat
yeah.
Liverpool, they beat City. They even beat while Chelsea wasn't in their best form because it was 2017, 2018, but they beat Chelsea. The thing with them is that they struggle versus mid-table teams, but they know how to beat big teams, or at least for Nuno Espiritu Santo. And I mean, that's very interesting, bro. That's fucking
Yeah,
interesting as fuck.
I think it's
Because
gonna make it really spicy, bro.
yeah, because now there's that conference league position that Wolves would have probably taken, that he has the opportunity to take now.
Hmm. Shit. So
So
you're saying maybe they can get like some Europe next year? You never know.
I
Imagine
mean,
seeing Nottingham Forest back in Europe. They're one of the first teams to have won a Champions League in England, no?
I'm not sure. I
Because I
think
know they
they
have
did.
like one or two Champions Leagues.
Let me just look at it real quick.
Yeah, because
But
I'm like 99.9% sure that they have at least one Champions League in their belt. But like I'm talking about like ages ago, like in
yeah,
their maybe like.
They've won two Champions Leagues. They've won.
Now, how does it feel that they have more Champions League than Man City, bro?
I mean, it's like Honduras, bro. I honestly don't really care. I promise I don't
Yeah.
care, bro.
All right. But
So
yeah,
it was like in
crazy
the 70s.
in the 70s. Yeah, it
Yeah,
makes sense. So
but
maybe this is their time, dog.
so, I mean, hey, they're fairly decent. They're not a possession based team, but they know how to play with the ball. You get me? Like they know how to attack with the ball. They know how to maintain the ball going forward. But let's also talk about Liverpool. Liverpool, they maintain the ball for really a good chunk of the game. If not, I don't want to lie here. So I don't know if they maintained it for the most of the game, but they had it for like a good majority, at least of the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, look, we were just talking about Diogo Jota. He doesn't. What I say?
Like he's not lethal, or I hope that's not what you're trying to say. I think he's a pretty.
I think he's lethal, but they couldn't get him the ball, or if it's I don't know if it's because they took him out. They take him out at the 60th minute.
Maybe
I don't
you
know if
think
it's
maybe it could
because
have been a little bit of overconfidence.
I think it could. Yeah, definitely overconfidence. You know, they're thinking that Nottingham Forest. You know, this is this is an easy dub because I mean on the polls, not the polls, but like on I forgot it was ABC or CBS, but it was 85% Liverpool probability,
To
8%
win.
Nottingham, and a 7% tie.
Mhm.
So it's like you know everybody, a lot of people lost their money that day, and I mean
Whoever bet on Nottingham went with a big payout, though.
whoever put on Nottingham, because I mean I know there's people that'll bet like 5 on Liverpool, they'll make 7, and they'll bet 5 on Nottingham, and they'll make like 15. So
Yeah,
they made a freaking payout. But I mean, it's just Liverpool. Okay, you play with the ball, nice. You do this, you do that, but where's that lethalness? You get me?
yeah.
No, I
And
get it. They have.
the
I
first like first 3-4 games of the Premier League, they were showing they were scared to play against. I mean, they probably still are going to keep that up. I think this is just a fluke game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so for sure. But the fact that how would I say this? We've known Liverpool for having fluke games at Anfield where they're down 2-0, down 3-0, and they come back. You get me?
What
Because
was it?
it's Anfield. At the end of the day, this is Anfield. Like this is their home. This is where it doesn't matter if you're up 2-3-0. They somehow, you know, make a miracle and come back. I mean, when they did the Barcelona miracle 4-0, and then Man City was beating them 3-0 at their own home and they won 4-3. I remember like 2017, 2018. So it's just like, and to see like no response from this, I mean, throughout the that last part of the game, I was expecting Liverpool to tie it, even maybe to score 2 quick goals. But it is worrying because of the fact that it's a new coach, you get me?
Yeah,
So they don't know to trust him yet. And with this result, it could definitely hurt the players trusting in him, or the
yeah.
players even trusting in themselves.
I definitely agree with that. Now, a team that's in full throttle right now. They're trusting each other right now. Man City, they're hot, bro. They're the hottest team in the Premier League, sitting top of the table. I don't think they've dropped any points, have they?
No, they haven't. I think it's top of the
They're
wins.
on straight wins right now, and
They're on
they
straight
just
wins.
beat Brentford 2-1, even though they had conceded early. But we already saw this just a few games back against Ipswich, where they conceded early, and then they like within just minutes they just put 3 past Ipswich, and it was game over. And it was in similar fashion. Haaland got his brace today, and I'm like, bro, I'm tired of talking about Haaland because it's the same theme with him. He's like always like either getting a brace or a hat trick or just scoring in the game. I think he's like at what 9 goals in the Premier League so far.
Yeah, I think he has 9 goals. And
He's like
then,
six above Mohamed Salah. I think Mohamed Salah has like the second highest goal scorer. He's only has 3.
damn, that's
It's
crazy. That's actually insane.
insane. Like, it's insane. Like number, like I said in in the last part, they're numbers that we've never seen before. And I mean, besides Messi, but that's like he's a different caliber of animal. He's not even a striker, if you whatever. But we're talking about the Premier League right here. Holland literally saved Manchester City in this game, and I mean, I don't even know what else to say about him, bro. Like, what else can you add to this monster of a fucking striker?
Bro, I mean, he's insane. Fuck, I mean, 9 goals in 4 games. Like 3 goals in 4 games is a good stat for a forward. Like that's a decent stat. You know, that's a decent 9. Imagine
Yeah,
9 goals in 4 games, bro.
yeah. And how old is he? He's still 24, 20,
He's like
23, 24?
I think he's like 23, bro.
Yeah, he still has. He can break so many records, bro. That probably that we haven't even thought of in years, especially in the Premier League where it's so difficult to break records.
Yeah, I mean,
He's been doing that, so I think we're gonna see a crazy season. I think I had already predicted that Man City we're gonna be close to hitting another 100-point season, and that Holland was gonna um, break some records too at the end of the
I
season.
mean,
But
they're definitely on track, bro. Like defensively, they have depth. In the midfield, they just got Gundogan back, and on top of that, they don't need him to start every game. But Gundogan is a player that has the experience to close out a game. That's very important.
mm,
So he's probably going to be utilizing that factor. I mean, the fact that they have Erling Haaland now, is just insane because this is a team that 2017 to 2020 they were known for they create a lot, but they can't fucking finish. They had Sterling skying balls, they had fucking
Gabriel Jesus skying balls.
Gabriel Jesus skying balls, and it was just like okay, they're good, they know how to create, know how to play, but they can't finish. And now you fucking throw Erling Haaland in there because at least for me, there's two factors that makes a solid team that can create and that can finish. Because if you can create in abundance and finish in abundance, nobody can really stop you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what City have right now. And that's why it's going to be so difficult to stop them. I said Liverpool were going to be the ones to do that, but they're dropping points. Arsenal already dropped points, I believe, like 2 games ago or the last game. And you cannot be dropping points in a title race that we already know is going to be so tight, especially between these three teams. So, I mean, good luck to any other team besides Man City. They're on a roll, bro. Arsenal right now as well. They're in good form. That we had the North London Derby at Tottenham Stadium, and luckily I was able to experience this at the Cosm in LA. So if you guys haven't seen that, you guys have to check that out. It's like this big 8D screen up in Los Angeles, right next to SoFi. It makes you feel like you're actually in the stadium as if you were in London watching the match, and it's great vibes all around. But just going into the game itself, I mean, it was kind of a sleeper, kind of disappointing from a neutral standpoint because I'm neither a Tottenham fan or an Arsenal fan. So I was expecting a little bit more goals. I was like I was pretty worried that it was going to end in a 0-0. Honestly, I thought it was going to end in a 0-0. Luckily, we got Saka to get on the corner, and then he put a nice little ball into Gabriel Magales. How do you say his name? Magales. Magales. Um, and then he gets his goal in the second half. But I mean, overall, I wouldn't say Arsenal was better or Tottenham were better. I know they were both missing key pieces. Arsenal specifically, they're missing Odegaard, they're missing Declan Rice after his mess up, his screw up in the last match. But they got the result. That's the most important part in a derby where things get heated, and things did get heated. There was a few fights. But now Arsenal make it 3 straight wins in the derby since 1988. So I don't even know if you can call it a rivalry right now because Arsenal seem to be just like they're flying in the Premier League, in derbies in general. Like they're way above Tottenham's caliber, who haven't really shown that fighting spirit that we saw in last season. Or so far this season, like they've been pretty poor. I'm not even gonna lie, they've been pretty poor. They've lost the last 7 out of 11 Premier League matches. So I remember when Postecoglou said that in his second season he typically wins things. I don't know how he's gonna win anything this season.
I honestly, it's difficult. And I mean, there's no buts. It's fucking difficult for them to win anything this season. I mean, maybe they could get
maybe a little cup or something on the side.
They don't care about cup starting next season, but other than that, I mean, I don't see anything.
Yeah, it's a difficult time for Tottenham fans for sure. Because I mean, the first 4 games, I don't think they won a single game, to be honest. And not that I can off the top of my head, like I can't think of a game that they won so far.
Yeah.
They drew against. Did they beat Leicester? Or they drew against Leicester.
I'm not sure.
I think they might have beat Leicester or tied with Leicester. No, I think they tied with Leicester for sure.
Yeah, I think they tied Leicester because I think Vardy scored 1-1.
Yeah, Vardy scored. Mm-hmm.
Vardy scored,
Yeah. And then I think they lost in the last match too. So they're just a mess right now. Arsenal, they had dropped points just a few weeks back, but now, I mean, they get the win. Hopefully that helps them with confidence. I think they're in second place right now, just a few points behind City. So overall, those were like the really big results from this weekend. I mean, I don't know if you have any other games that you really want to throw in there from this weekend from the Premier League.
I mean,
I think Villa got a win as well.
Villa got a win.
They're in good form.
They did their thing. I mean, exciting team is really just City. I mean, Arsenal.
To be honest,
the Arsenal game was good. It was good. It was more of a, how would I say, of a pride thing. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
It was more like, we have to win this game because I mean, you even seen it on Tottenham. It was intense. It was an intense game.
Yeah.
It was slightly boring in terms of creating, because they didn't really get into each other's goals like that. But other than that, it was a good game. And I mean, that's pretty much it for the Prem.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other standout results. Now, moving into La Liga, I wanted to start off with Mallorca and Villarreal, mainly because I don't know why you and I we did not paint Villarreal at all to be in Europe or to be contending for European spots. I know you think you had Girona or Bilbao, and I had Girona and Bilbao to hit that fourth spot. But Villarreal, so far, I don't think they have lost a game in La Liga so far. They are literally in fourth place right now. And I just wanted to throw the question out there. Do you think we underrated them? Definitely, because they just beat Mallorca. They're like pulling off Leverkusen numbers where they're fucking scoring in the last minute of games to either tie games or win games. So right, so far they're doing pretty well. So do you feel like we underrated them a little bit?
El Villarreal tied to Atletico, right?
Hmm.
Tied Atletico, and they tied. Who else was it? Valencia, no? And then the
Valencia.
last three were wins. Now the thing is, how would Sevilla's decent. They beat them 2-1. Celta Vigo's decent. They beat them 4-3. And who's the last? Mallorca.
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 Mallorca's a difficult team to beat. We already know how difficult they
Yeah,
are.
they defend very well.
Yeah. So Villarreal, I think they're getting off to a good start so far.
I think Villarreal might stay in that fourth spot
Because
if it
Girona's not
continues
looking.
like this.
We'll talk about that a little bit moving forward, but Girona's not looking good. I mean, we already knew that was gonna kind of happen because when you rip apart a team like the way most of that's kind of what happens to the smaller teams. They get ripped apart when they have a good season. I mean, throw back to that Ajax team back in 2017. Was it 2017?
2017, Leicester 2016 too. I mean, Riyad Mahrez ended up leaving. I mean, even that Wolves team too. I mean, Adama Traore went to Barcelona for a minute, no?
Mm-hmm. Barca.
And then Diogo Jota went to Liverpool. But there was a midfielder. I probably his name.
Was it
Oh, huh?
João Neves?
Oh yeah,
I
Ruben
think
Neves.
he stayed for a little longer, but he eventually left.
Yeah, but
Yeah. For I'm just focusing on Villarreal though. Like I just feel like it definitely underrated them. And I mean, to be fair, last season they didn't have the best season, so I was hard to kind of throw them into that mix. But so far, they're doing
and they
things.
didn't, they didn't have an insane transfer market like that either.
Yeah, I mean, they brought back Danjuma, and I think they just recently sold him again or loaned him out. They sold their best striker in Sorloth, but I mean, they haven't skipped a beat so far. One of their star players, Ayosi Perez, he signed from Betis for £4 million. He's been Villarreal's savior. He's the one that has been scoring the last few matches. He got a game winner against Sevilla. He got the equalizer against Valencia, and then he got the game winner again this match against Mallorca. So definitely a player to keep an eye on for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
Now moving towards the big boys, talking about Madrid, then Barcelona. Real Sociedad played against Real Madrid, and a lot of people were expecting this matchup to be the one where Kylian Mbappe kind of let loose because we saw what he did last year in the Champions League against Real Sociedad in the round of 16, and I mean he was incredible. I think he got a brace in that game against Real Sociedad for PSG. But it's the same thing. So far, they just lack chemistry, and the only two goals that Real Madrid scored were off penalties. Well, and bro, in I think the last 3 or 4 matches, they've scored, I think, 5 penalties or 4 penalties in the last like 3 or 4 matches. So this kind of put that into perspective. They're just not creating in the way that they should be creating, and they're. I mean, I'm not gonna throw any digs at like refereeing problems or drama or anything like that, but you shouldn't be getting so many penalties in that amount of matches. I think it's a little suspicious for sure.
I mean, I wouldn't say you shouldn't be getting penalties because a penalty is a penalty at the end of the day.
Yeah, but some of
Just
them are just so
what
soft, controversial.
the penalties that were called. Most of them definitely are penalties, and most of them, let's be honest, if it was Real Madrid, they wouldn't be getting called, and
Yeah,
it actually it would actually be a foul in favor of the team, that was trying to. Well, it would be a yellow card for the player that dove. Not even that dove, but just some handballs. Like,
yeah, because
it's controversial.
there was a controversial. I think it was a handball that was called. That I mean, I don't think it should have been called a pen, but when you're Madrid, it's just a little bit more favorable for you. You know, it's just a little bit. I don't want to say easier, but there's that like hierarchy almost. You know, where
I
people
mean,
are kind of scared to go against you.
Yeah, and it's not even that we're Real Madrid haters. No, like I've rooted for Real Madrid before. I like Real Madrid. I think they've had great players, but I mean, even Casemiro said it. When I would slide like this at Madrid, I would never get a yellow. Or even Sergio Ramos said that when he was at PSG. When I would like lay people out like this at Real Madrid, I would never get a red. I would rarely get reds.
You're like a little bit more privileged when you're a Madrid player for
Oh,
sure.
for
You have a
sure.
little bit more of a pass per se.
Yeah, I mean,
So, like I said, overall with Vinicius, I know Rodrigo, he did not start as well. Vinicius, I think it was Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz was in there, um, and then Mbappe as well. They lack that chemistry still that I'm not seeing. But what I did like is that when the penalties did occur, I think Vinicius took the first one, and then Vinicius let Mbappe have the second one. So they were able to like share in that sense, which is good. You want to see the star players, having some respect for each other, not just getting like egotistical and taking the penalties for themselves, having a little bit of slices of the pie, if you want to say it that way. So it was good to see that as well. But they get their points, they get a win, which is what they need because right now Barcelona are running away with the title. If if the season were to end right now, I mean, they would be winning it by quite a large margin. I think it's like a 3 point lead between them and Atletico, which we'll touch in the next one. But Girona smacked. I mean, no, Barcelona smacked Girona. My bad. 4-1, and it's an impressive result given that last season Girona did the double on Barcelona. When
wait,
Girona was
I just want to touch quick. Why was Rodrigo benched?
Rodrigo, I'm not sure to be honest.
Because he goes in on the 25th minute.
I
So
think
that's he
Brahim
was
Diaz got injured. That's why.
yeah, but so Rodrigo wasn't injured. But why is Rodrigo not starting? I mean, been one of the he literally got him a win and a tie.
Yeah, I think he's the most. I think he is more influential than both Vinicius and Mbappe. But I think maybe just for overall balance issues, you can't bench Vinicius. He's like your Ballon d'Oro possible winner. You
I mean,
can't bench Mbappe because he's your star signing this season.
the thing is that
So
Rodrigo can play on the right.
he can. He's done it. He's done it very well. But I mean, maybe like I
But
said, it's just maybe like an overall balance problem that he's trying to fix. He probably thought it'd be better to have Rodrigo off the bench. But I
the, the,
mean,
best, the best way to fix this balance problem is to bench him up and get a true nine.
yeah. But they're not gonna see it that way, bro. It's just that's what he has to work with. And like I already told you before, Papa Perez is calling those shots. He's telling him you cannot take off Mbappe for whatever reason possible. Even if Mbappe were to get injured in the match, bro, I doubt he's gonna take him off.
No, for sure.
Like he needs to be playing. He's their money maker right now. So they're not. It's like it's all PR, bro. It's all PR. But we can talk about that in a different episode. But
Sure.
going back to Barcelona, they did smack Girona, and like I said, they did the double last year. Girona, I think they beat them in both matches last season, 4-2. So overall, bless you.
Thank you.
Overall, Barcelona, they're flying, bro. They're top of the table. They haven't lost a match. And they're the only team in La Liga that haven't lost or dropped points. So they're going to continue this unbeaten streak. I don't know for how long. They scored 17 goals in the past 5 matches, which is just it's we're crazy to see given how they've performed in the last 2 seasons, especially last season when they were barely winning matches 1-0, 2-1, scraping by with victories.
Yeah.
Uh, but now, like offensively, the floodgates have opened. Lewandowski's cracked open. Fucking Olmo got 3 goals in the past 3 games. Yamal, I mean, I don't even know what to talk about with Lamine Yamal. He's like the same thing with Holland right now, where it's like I feel like I'm repeating myself every fucking week, but Lamine Yamal is just brilliant, bro. And I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself, but do you feel like he's the best right winger in the world right now in this present moment?
Um,
Because who would you put above him?
I think players with potential, but
Like I'm just talking about in the moment. No potential. Just like in this moment right now, he hasn't, bro. He's assisted or scored in every single match since the Euros. Besides, I think the last match, but like he's gone consistently for like months now. He's in assisting and scoring every single game, dude. Like that is some very rare consistency, especially from a kid at 17 years old. But yeah, not talking about potential or can he be like just in this moment right now? Who's a better right winger than him?
maybe Salah, but that'd just be based off experience. But right now, I'm forming the Tim.
Yeah, it has to be him. Like I don't. It's really hard to debate that because I would say Salah too, but that would be based on his history, his
Yeah.
experience. Because I mean, we know what he's done. He's been there, done that. But this is like a new face, and just talking about in this present moment right now, he's just it's insane. And a lot of people are starting to compare him to Messi. They've been comparing him to Messi ever since he came out. He quite literally got blessed by Messi, like in that baby picture. So um I don't know if that's fair to him, to be honest, because he's so young. But I like the way the kid responds. Like he's very mature for his age at 17 years old. He's like, I like the comparisons to Messi. It means that I'm doing things right, but I want to be myself. I want to be Lamine Yamal, which is perfect. It's like politically correct what he said. Like to be compared with Messi obviously means you're doing something very well, but hold off on those comparisons because I'm Lamine Yamal. Like shit, maybe he's gonna write his own history, bro. Because at
It'll be
17 years old, Messi wasn't doing this shit. To be honest, like he was barely breaking into a team. And to be fair, it was a lot more difficult that time because he had Ronaldinho, Samuel Eto'o, um, insane players, Puyol, Xavi, Iniesta. Like it was
Avidal,
difficult in those times.
Marquez.
Mm-hmm.
I mean I mean we're comparing. It's difficult because if Barcelona was in a similar boat, so as if it were right now, then Messi would have probably started. But the fact that it was one of the best teams of that decade, he would have never just gone into the team and started like that.
Yeah,
But regardless, I mean he's doing it, and right now, I mean right now, at least for this moment, Barcelona's the best team in Spain,
yeah, for sure,
and
hands down.
maybe even be the best team in continental Europe because I mean
Bayer Leverkusen's already lost.
Bayer Leverkusen looks decent. They've lost. And comparing the two leagues, La Liga and the German league, I think the La Liga has more merit just based off of the teams in it. They have Atletico Madrid and Barca, whereas historically Germany is just Borussia. That's a really small contender, and then Bayer Leverkusen, the
Bayern
German
Munich,
guy.
Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich.
Oh yeah, Bayern Munich, and then right now they have the new contender Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, but they have to show that consistency this season.
So I mean, I think Barcelona is the best team in continental Europe.
Yeah, I think they're like on par with right now in this moment, not looking at the past and not looking at what's going to happen down the road. Just in this moment, it's like them and Man City because I don't think Man City have lost either. You said right,
No, they haven't. It's four
so
wins.
they're doing similar things right now, and I like the way Barcelona are playing. I mean, it feels like I'm watching MSN days Barcelona back in like 2015, 2016.
The only thing
When
that
I would wake up early in the morning to watch Barca. That was the only time I would watch them.
would surprise me is if Barcelona makes a deep Champions League run because I
That's
mean
the most
in the
part.
laws of football, there's like this experience factor in the Champions League, especially in the Champions League.
Mhm.
When Man City was like right now playing like Barca, creating a lot, they didn't get that merit to be able to win a Champions League. It was until after they had like 6, 7 seasons consistently making it to the Champions League.
Yeah.
So that's really what would surprise me. Other than that, I think Barca's going to do good in Champions League, make quarterfinal, semifinal. But I mean, if
Yeah.
they make it to the final, that'd be a surprise.
That would be a big surprise. I mean, based on history, right? But
Yeah,
based on current form, I wouldn't be too surprised. But that's what we need to see because they can only you can only measure yourself so much within your league unless you're in the Premier League.
yeah,
Because I mean, they're not playing the best teams in the world. I mean, Girona is a solid team, but like I already said, they got ripped apart. The squad got ripped apart. They faced Valencia as one of the worst teams in the league. They faced Real Valladolid, who's going to be a relegation fighting team as well. So they need to be fighting bigger threats of opponents to really be compared and really see their potential. So we'll see down the road how they do, especially in Europe. Your Champions League does start this season, so we'll see how these big teams perform, and we'll see the new format go down as well. So I'm excited for all that shit going down. Definitely stay tuned for all that stuff in the podcast here below. Um, Moving forward from Barcelona, moving forward from this Girona game, let's go to Atleti, the last big match that I really wanted to touch on in La Liga. Atleti did beat Valencia, who I already mentioned. They're the worst team in the league. I don't think they've won a single match. They've drawn one game, and that's it. They only have 1 point. They're dead last. And it's sad to see because, like, if you remember those I think the early 2000s days, Valencia they were a powerhouse in La Liga with Mario Kempes. I had
2002.
Yeah, they had legendary players from 2002, 2004. There's like a few years right there where they They were dominating Spain, and they were a really big team in Spain, and they are a big team in Spain, and the fans show that. I mean, they're constantly showing out for their club, but right now it's just going downhill, to be honest. And I hope it doesn't get to a point where they do get relegated, because you don't want to see a team like Valencia get relegated. It's not a team that deserves to be in relegation, because they're the kind of teams that give serious fights to the big boys.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, against Atletico, they didn't put up a fight whatsoever. Atletico just ran right through them, scored three past them. I think the most surprising thing about this game is the people that got on the score sheet. Conor Gallagher finally got his goal, Griezmann and Julian Alvarez as well. So all three of them, I mean, all fan favorites so far. I mean, overall, just a dominant performance from an Atletico Madrid standpoint. I mean, I don't know if you want to touch on anything from there. I think just my biggest takeaway are just the three main goal scorers: Griezmann, Julian, and Gallagher getting on the score sheet finally.
yeah. I mean, Gallagher coming from Chelsea and Julian finally scoring coming from City. I mean, they were decent goals, fairly decent Julian's, but I mean, there's nothing to take away from them. They dominated. They played well going forward. Although I'm gonna say their defense wasn't tested that much.
Yeah, especially like with Valencia, you're not going to get tested much. To be
So I
fair,
think that's kind of like that comfort coming from the back line. But
yeah,
I mean, other than that, I just want to see Atletico's defense get tested again because when it's been tested, there's been. I mean, like I think one game
yeah,
it was like three
they've been crazy,
two, like
bro.
4-3.
Yeah, against Villarreal specifically, I think that's when they tied like 3-3 or something like that.
I mean, it's insane. But other than that, Atletico, like I said before, they have nothing to worry about offensively. Their whole worry, which is weird now, is the defense.
Yeah, which is you just don't attribute that to a Cholo Simeone team, but I mean, he's switching his style up. That's just the reality of it. But
But I do think an Atletico versus Madrid game right now would be fairly interesting.
Atletico versus Madrid, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So hopefully we can see that derby come soon, a little sooner than possible. I don't know when the next derby is gonna be, but that's gonna be a real test for Atleti for sure.
Yeah. For Madrid too, because I mean,
For Madrid, I don't know. Madrid always stays winning those games,
it's
bro.
'cause, like Madrid defends well, but their attack is off.
Yeah,
Right now, Atletico attacks well, but their defense is off. I mean, you mix those two, you're in for maybe 3-3, 3-4.
shit. We'll see. We'll see what happens in this next derby. But now, kind of wrapping things up in La Liga overall. I mean, nothing too surprising from a results standpoint. Now, going to Liga MX, there are a few surprising results. The big one coming Toluca to Tijuana. But before we get into that, of course, we have to touch on the Clásico Nacional, only the biggest match in all of the Americas, pretty much, besides probably River and Boca
Boca.
did play this weekend. So, um, yeah, it was an intense showdown. Honestly, I thought Chivas were going to get the win based on recency bias, based on just like how well Chivas was performing and how poorly America was performing. America coming from a loss against Puebla, against Cruz Azul, they got completely beat down. Chivas, they showed out against Bravos, Juarez. But today, like, what happened, bro? Like, can you run me down? Like, what happened? I wasn't able to watch the game fully because I was at a wedding, but obviously, I paid attention to the result, and I was quite surprised.
I mean, the thing is like this: Chivas creates a lot, but they don't have the experience center forward. They don't have an experience. On top of that, they're missing their most informed player, which is Kate Cowell. Chica is
Yeah.
coming back from slightly, not slightly, but being injured. He tore his hamstring. He was out for about 3 weeks.
What happened to Katie Cowell? Hold on, real quick, because I
I'm
thought
not
he was
sure.
gonna start. Everything was going good until like training, like that the training session before the game. He got injured, right?
Yeah, and I'm not sure what happened to him, but even Tiba Sepulveda missed out. I don't know if it was
Yeah,
a heavy training this week or whatever it was, but two players who were injured, two of their best players,
two
and
starters.
two of their, how would I say, most physically fit players, because Kid Cow, he's known for having that physique, and Tiba Sepulveda as well. Now you miss your best left winger and your best center back and you're bringing back a center back that's out of form. What happens is that obviously you're going to receive a goal, but not only that, you're going to attack one sided, and that's what it looked like. I mean, all the balls were going to Roberto Alvarado, and obviously he was creating. But man, it's gotta be frustrating for Gago watching Pavel Perez play because I don't know what he does. He just stands there, runs around, kind of fights, kind of I don't know what he's doing. But other than that, I think this is good for Chivas because they can create, right? And it reminds me, not comparing them in no way to Man City, but it reminds me of those days where Man City were very starting off. They were seeing success. They were able to create, but they couldn't finish. And I
Mhm.
think a team that's able to create but can't finish is an easier fix than a team that can't create.
Can't
You
create
get
and
me?
can't finish. Yeah, yeah,
Can't create and can't finish. So
yeah.
they're halfway there. And for the thing with Chivas is, they're a team that plays with only Mexicans, so they're not able to reload like America. America next season is gonna be fine because they're gonna buy like 4 or 5 Colombians,
Mhm.
and Chivas isn't. They need to build a project. They need to buy players. And this is a project that I mean, in recent history that we've seen grow exponentially to what happened with Ricardo Peláez. When Ricardo Peláez was at Chivas, they would make semifinals, they would make this, but they weren't convincing. It was a counter-attacking team with counter-attacking style. And now it's like, hey, they create, they touch the ball well, they get to the end of the goal, they just can't fucking tap the ball in.
Yeah, they're
And
missing
it's
that legal striker, and
yeah,
I think
legal striker.
for Ortega, I know he started, and I think he had a good opportunity to probably score one of the first goals in the game, right?
He had two good opportunities, like kind of dribbles around Malagon. Malagon gets a hand on it,
Yeah,
and then one of them hits like his upper part of his hip, and he's like he can't even fucking tap it. And I mean, fuck, you just need to finish however you can. I don't know, put your ass in it or whatever.
he's still
But
young. You can't. It's hard to beat him up for it because he's still 21 years old. He has a
yeah,
whole career ahead of himself. But I mean, to be fair, I mean that's the best that Chivas has right now, El Ormia, because
yeah,
Marin, he fights for every ball. You can't take that away from him. He's a fighter. He's gonna run around. Va a cansar defensas 100%, but he's not a lethal striker. He's not gonna
yeah,
put a
yeah,
goal. He'd be like he'll score a goal like one in every 10 games or something like that, but not consistently, not in the way that Ormiga has been starting off so far. And she
yeah.
tried to
So true.
been injured for who knows how long now. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. So I agree that they're missing some key players in Kate Cowell. I think they would have added and a little bit of difference up top for sure, and then Tiba Sepulveda adding that security at the back for sure. Now,
Yeah,
from an America standpoint, uh, this is a good thing. A lot of people were betting against them just because of the recent form, and now they get this very important win in a Clásico, where a win in the Clásico definitely boosts your confidence, but it wasn't convincing at all, though. Like even though they might have a confidence boost, the whole style of how they're playing. I mean, for who knows how long they've been playing like this, there's nothing convincing about this team that says like, oh yeah, they're gonna win the third campeonato, or they can even make playoffs because right now they're still not even in playoff positions.
no, yeah. I mean, I don't think how would I say? I definitely want America to make playoffs, and I think they can because their best players are injured. But even when they come back, the season is going to be a recovering process. You get me? So they're
Mm.
not going to be at their full potential. They're not going to be playing at 100%. Which is how would I say? Which isn't the best way to think about it if you're an America fan, but it's the reality. You get me?
Yeah,
Your players they're coming back from a recovery thing. Same thing happened to Chiquete. You've seen not a drop in form, but definitely a drop in confidence. Which is it's normal. It's what happens when you come back from injury. You get used to playing again. You slowly go back into it because you're scared, obviously, to get injured again. But
yeah,
I definitely want to see this matchup again in a quarterfinal or a semifinal because I think then Kate Cowell will be back, and then not only him but Chiquete will be informed, Tiba will be back, and then on top of that, America is missing a couple key players so like Diego Valdez, which is I mean Diego Valdez, if you've seen him play, he's probably the best 10 in Liga MX right now.
yeah. Even though he's not in his best form either, but
Yeah, yeah,
probably injury problems that he's been
but I
carrying.
definitely want to see both teams at full strength. See in America style that's more open, attacks a lot more because it's like they score the goal and it's like, okay, let's just fucking
Sit
do
back.
shit house football. Yeah, like
Yeah,
shit house football, kick the ball, waste time. And it's like, okay, maybe that's what you need to win. Yeah,
But
Clásico, but
like a lot of the guys in football, we can't say like they're not playing like a big team. You know, they're not
yeah,
playing
they're
como
playing like
grande.
they're playing like if it was Querétaro, you know, when Querétaro goes up 1-0 versus Chivas, or even what was that match? I forget who goes up 1-0 versus Chivas, and they fucking sit back. And obviously, it's a small team, so they're gonna fucking sit back. But it's just like, I get it, they're limited. I get that. I get that America's limited right now, but I don't know. It's just it seemed like
You gotta have a little bit more confidence in yourself,
a
not
little
to
bit
be.
more a little bit attack a little bit more. But then looking back at the other games where they attacked, like they try to attack versus Puebla, they lose. They try to attack versus Cruz Azul, they lose. So they're kind of like, you know what? Let's just play shithouse football. Let's get one in and defend the rest of the game and waste time.
Yeah. I just hope we don't continue seeing that from America because that's not an America team that you want to see. You know, you want to see an America team that offensively they just flow. You know, because
Yeah,
that's what we're used to. But yeah, in the past like few months, their just form just completely dipped, bro. So, but in the Clásico right now, they're in good form. They haven't lost the Clásico in a regular season in like years. I forgot the last time, it was like 2017, right?
6 or 7.
Yeah, it's been a while. So, America tiene como papá las Chivas. So
The thing is that in the preseason, 2021, Chivas eliminates America. 2022, Chivas eliminates America. 2023, Chivas eliminates America. 2024, finally America eliminates Chivas, and they were celebrating hella. But I don't think, how would I say, it's almost like the one that wins in the league loses in the playoffs.
yeah,
It's like they study them, but I don't know what it is. But I like that. I like that because it's not so one sided.
mhm.
But it's cool. I
Ho-
mean,
hopefully we can get another Clásico Nacional sometime in the Liga. So we'll see what happens moving
yeah.
into Liga season. But now a result that honestly just shocked me because one of my favorites in Tijuana, who I put as probable title contenders, just because I feel like they're an institution that deserves at least one more title. Toluca just ran them off the park, dude. Like 4-0, like a complete like showing of like consistently of lethalness of just straight dominance from Toluca. I mean, Tijuana suffered almost the whole match. They had only two real clear opportunities, and when it was still 0-0, and Volpe came up huge, bro. He was a key instrument in Toluca's win because he not only made those good saves, he kept the 0 on his goal, and then obviously Toluca handled the rest, bro. And now my favorites to win, Tijuana. I don't know if they're favorites anymore. So I don't know what you have to say about the Tijuana team first before we talk about Toluca, because I have so much to say about Toluca.
I mean, it's just that I don't even know what to say about Tijuana because they got outplayed, they
Mhm.
got outscored,
Yeah.
they got outcreated. They didn't. I mean, they didn't do anything, to be honest. They showed up to the game and were like, "Fuck it." I don't know. I thought for a second, they were how to say it, like on a boycott or something because the way that they were playing, it's like they were. I don't know. Maybe they were holding their salaries after the game. I don't know what the fuck they're not paying them or something like because a mercenary tries harder than that. You know, a person that you pay to play tries harder than that, and it's just like, are they starving in Tijuana? Are they starving them?
To be fair, bro, to go to the Nemesio 10 is a very difficult atmosphere. I think the way the stadium's built and how the fans show out, specifically in this match, it was full. And a lot of the players that go to play through in Toluca, they say that playing in the stadium, it's has a similar feeling to playing in a stadium in Europe because of how loud it is, how they show out. So that's what I really like about this Toluca team right now. But it's just like it's something that we see with Toluca all the time, where in regular season they're like, oh, they're favorites. They look like they're back, and then they go to Liga and they get knocked out in the first match, the first round.
Toluca's the Dallas Cowboys of Liga MX. They're like, oh, this is our year. And it's like, hell no. But look, talking about a little bit about Tijuana, yes, like I get it. You know, Nemesio Diaz has Tiene Peso. It's a heavy ass stadium. You know, very few people. I mean, Toluca, I think, lost one game at the Nemesio Diaz last season out of like
Mhm.
9. And it's like, I get that. But 4-0, I mean, you didn't fucking show up nor defensively, neither offensively.
Yeah, should have been a
Because
little more solid for sure.
I mean, at least a 4-1, 4-2, I'd be like, okay, you know, you try to come back into the game, but it's like 4-0 is
They
fucking
never tried, bro. It's like they didn't try.
bros. And I bet you they got paid on Friday too before the game. That's true. But I mean,
Look,
but the look looks scary.
I want to highlight two players real quick because these are the same two players that I've been talking about from the Toluca team for a few weeks now, maybe even a month now. Jesus Angulo, El Canelo, and Marcel Ruiz.
Okay.
They're class in the midfield, bro. And I don't know why they haven't been called up. I hope in the next window they do get some minutes in the national team because they're doing things incredibly well and they're one of the strongest performers Mexican players in the league overall. Canelo as a 10, I love how he plays. He dictates the game very well. He creates a lot of opportunities. He had two goals, one of them kind of being a scruff goal. The other one was a really good goal. He created some opportunities for his teammates as well. Marcelo Ruiz, I think he's just very stable. He's an aerial threat because he's pretty tall as well. So I think they both need to get called up for sure at some point.
I mean, look, take out Tadley already. I mean, he doesn't do anything for the team. He just fucks around. I don't know what the fuck he's doing on the squad.
Yeah, you can definitely swap those two around. My bad. I don't know what I was trying to say right there, but you can definitely swap those two around, and I think you would see.
Getting
Uh,
off my national team. I never want to see him in a jersey again.
to
But
who?
uh, fucking what's his name, Charlie? Get
Charlie.
on the national team. Never let him wear a jersey again. I mean, ain't how he's there. I think I don't know, bro. They have a he signed a solo away or something. I don't know. I don't know how the fuck he's on the
I'm pretty
national team.
sure like his dad works somewhere in the
His
federation.
dad his dad's the federation. His
His
dad's
dad is La Bomba. Imagine
La Bomba, bro.
because they have the same last name, Rodriguez.
Damn, bro. Maybe.
You never
It's
know, bro. They
possible.
look kind of alike now. Think about it. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
No, I mean, and
But
definitely. I mean, there's other players like. I mean, that's the only midfielder I really don't like on the selection that I really wouldn't mind if he disappeared or if he
all
no, just kidding. No, like
right, we're getting too far. We're getting too far right now. Hold on. Let's bring it back to the game. Bring it back. Bring it back. Let's go back to this Toluca team real quick because, like I said, consistency is very key in Liguilla and or going into Liguilla. And so far, Toluca are very consistent and they're doing well. I think they're in second place, but we'll see how they put up their that same consistency when they get to Liguilla. But I want to ask you this: ¿Tú crees que por fin despertó el diablo or not?
I mean, it's because it was the same thing last season, bro. Like they were, oh at home 3-0, 4-0, 2-0. I remember a game.
Mm.
And in a way, it's like, who the fuck is this team? It's like Querétaro dressed up as Toluca. But
As
it
soon as
wasn't.
soon as they get to Liguilla, they choke. I mean, last season the same thing happened. They got knocked out by Chivas.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they see a big team and they get scared. It's like they see an America jersey or a Chivas jersey, and it's like they forget how to play football. But look, the big advantage that this season is that they beat Monterrey, at Monterrey. That's actually fucking impressive because the thing with people from Monterrey, whether it's Tigres or Monterrey FC, they fucking show up for their team, bro. We seen the fucking CONCACAF Champions League last season. I mean Champions Cup. Monterrey was packed. I mean, even in the regular season, their stadiums get packed, as well as the Tigres games. And to win there, bro, that's difficult. I'll
Yeah,
give them that one. I'll give them that one for sure. That's a solid ass win. Tijuana is like more of a show out win. It's like what we seen versus Chivas versus Juarez. It's like a show out. Look at kind of like a flex, like a little flex.
the flex moment.
But we'll see. Time will tell. I don't think so yet. I see some inconsistencies. Not so much, not so much offensively nor defensively, but in the midfield. I think when Marcel Ruiz is out, they forget how to play football. But but we'll see. We'll see.
Now, I think a big matchup for sure that's going to be key for them is the game against Cruz Azul, and I think it's going to be coming up with pretty soon. I'm pretty sure. I don't know when, but pretty soon. Because last season that was key too, because they were in similar positions. Where Cruz Azul was doing very well, Toluca was doing very well, and then Toluca lost like 3-0 or something like that. Or I don't remember the scoreline, but
Yeah,
they
the thing that it came down to was before the Liguilla. I remember it was Toluca versus Cruz Azul at Toluca, and it was and Cruz Azul goes and takes the W. I think it's the only game they lost 1-0, and Toluca actually gets a penalty, and Volpe misses it. Not once, but twice.
Twice. Yeah. And then right now, Cruz Azul is going through their best moment that we've seen them in probably a few years since they won their title.
Cruz Azul, it's like, how would I say this? Now we see that Antuna's, scoring line was all a fucking a system. Like it was the system that was the strong one, not the player. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you see Rotondi fucking sitting from midfield. You see the way Cruz Azul create goals. I mean, I'd say this is the strongest Cruz Azul we've seen it since, well, probably
Since they
since
won the
Santi
last title,
Jimenez.
no?
Well, 2021 they had a decent team with Santi Jimenez, but they didn't play like this, bro. They didn't
Yeah.
have this they didn't play like this, bro. This Cruz Azul had actually. I mean, if there was an open bid to put some money on it, I think I'd bet Cruz Azul wins it. Based right now, but the thing is that Cruz Azuliadas, they lose.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's true. They're literally like the Tottenham of, but besides, well, they actually have won things, but they're
yeah,
okay.
they
That's
won
more
things.
like they're the Arsenal
They're
of,
the Arsenal. They win. They might win. They may win. And the
but
thing
then
is,
they never win it.
and they never win. I mean, like 2021, I don't think they had the strongest team when they won it. And
Does
I
that
remember
even count though? 2021, it wasn't even like a regular like
the
league. Yeah, it was
Guardianes.
like Guardianes 2021, so it doesn't even count.
Then 2013, I remember that strong ass thing, with Chocolate Jimenez, all those strong players, and they lose it, and I'm just like, now that last year they were the strongest team in Liga MX, and they lost it, and I was just like, I don't even know what the fuck to expect of this team. But
Yeah, as long as they're not playing America in the final, I think they could win. If they're playing any other team in the final, I mean, they already beat America 4-1 last game. But if they get to a position where they're in like semis, quarters, or the final against America, I think I would take America over Cruz Azul.
yeah, I think it's just they're scared of that badge, bro. It's like they see that badge and they're like, oh shit, like what do we walk into?
Overall, though, Cruz Azul, like you said, they're top of the table. They're the most informed team in Liga MX right now. They beat Leon 2-1, and I honestly did not watch the full match, but I already know that Cruz Azul were gonna win. They're too good. It's hard to stop them right now.
Cruz Azul has one. Okay, so in my head, I'm thinking, top three offenses, and it's definitely Cruz Azul, Toluca, then Chivas offenses. This is in terms of creation, not finishing solely. Now, I think a full form Chivas can hurt Cruz Azul on the fact that their right back is so bad, bro. I mean, Jorge Sanchez gives Leon the only goal. The only goal that was created by Leon, Jorge Sanchez gets a pass back and it's all fucked up, and Leon gets on the end of it, and then it's just like they're like playing Jorge Sanchez less throughout the rest of the game, and then I'm like noticing like, oh shit, there's less mistakes, I'm like, oh yeah, Jorge Sanchez isn't getting the ball. So if we could just get a solid right back, I don't think any team's stopping them.
Yeah,
Because I mean, Toluca through the left side. I mean, Canelo Angulo likes attacking through the left side. If he goes towards Jorge Sanchez, I mean, it's fucking raps. And then Kate Cowell is running down the left side. I mean, he's eating up Jorge Sanchez all day.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, even the America, the left winger, I don't even know his name. He could probably do
Vital or Brian Rodriguez?
Brian. Brian can fucking do Jorge Sanchez's shit dirty, and it's just like, it's just like the fact that I see that they can take him with ease. It's like, I know everybody's gonna spam trying to go through Jorge Sanchez.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably just the biggest downfall to Cruz Azul. It's just that
that's the only fault I see in them, because their midfield is good. Charlie Rodriguez knows how to play in Cruz Azul for some reason. It's like they open up a book, teach him football, and it's like I mean, they have Romo. Romo's actually been fairly decent in this era of his life. I like it, and offensively they're crazy. But the thing is that they don't solely depend on their offense to score. Their midfielder score. I mean, Rotoni scored a banger.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they're overall the best team in the league.
They're in their flow state right now, so
yeah,
definitely do not bet against them. But unless they're playing against America, that's a different story. We'll see how it goes against Liga. But that's pretty much it for Liga MX talk as well. Overall, thank you, Tomas, for hopping on. And make sure you guys check out our personal platform. Make sure you guys check out Charla Football down below. All the links will be down below. Stay tuned for more content. We're going to have the Road to 2026 video up within the next few days. We got some special guests pulling up for this episode as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for a lot of exciting things coming up. Giveaways as well too. I got some things I might want to do a little giveaway for. I'm just finishing up some things, so make sure you guys follow, subscribe, and yeah, support your small creators because together we're gonna make it big. Peace out.
So.